The beggar's mission. Diego is sitting on the floor of a crowded street. His clothes are completely destroyed, full of dirt and holes, with some patches. His hair is stiff and his face darkened by the sun and accumulated dust for so long. His outstretched arm ends up in a metal jar that he shakes out of habit. Inside it, some coins tinkle with one another. His gaze fixed on the agitated footsteps that go from one side to another. Sometimes someone stops, deposits a coin and leaves. Other times they insult him, denigrate him, complain and leave. And another times someone hands over something to eat and leaves. On some occasions, his routine is broken when two policemen on a motorcycle arrive, park it in front of him, and ask him to leave the place. His bad smell and unkempt appearance is uncomfortable for many people who frequent that place. Diego goes from one place to another, and they constantly take him out of there until he reaches a place, and it seems that there he does not bother anyone, because he has been shaking his emaciated pod of coins for several days. He's still scared when he sees the police, but they do not banish him from his workplace. Sometimes they bring him food, so now he feels calmer. One day, a lady passes by Diego's front and stops, takes off her suitcase, takes out a package containing milk and cookies, hands it to him, and he thanks with his incomplete but sincere smile, puts the package in one of his bags, and continues with his song of the coins. After a while, Diego gets up, picks up his things, and walks slowly so that they don't keep undoing their shoes. A couple of hours later, he arrives at this place, settles down, and starts shaking his coin rattle again. Several times a day, he does the same thing, collects his things, leaves, and comes back after a while. A salesperson has been watching him, and he's very curious about what the homeless person does. So one of those times, he follows him. They reach a horrible dark alley. The smell is unbearable, but the seller does not stop. He follows Diego stealthily. The salesman already supports the bad smell a little better. He realizes that Diego reaches a corner, takes a bottle of milk from one of his bags and serves it on a dirty plate, then leaves it on a mattress, and some puppies come out to eat there. Diego hears a noise and turns his head. The seller could not bear to see the scene that was in front of his eyes. His face was bathed in tears. The homeless person realized that he is not in any danger, so he takes out of another bag a piece of bread. He breaks it into several pieces and gives them to the puppies. The seller, wiping his face, tells him to pick up the puppies. The place is very humid and they can get sick. Diego puts together a cardboard box and put 4 puppies there. Then he grabbed their bags with both hands. He stared at the seller, and he was thoughtful, doubting he understood the beggar's gaze, and lifted the box to get out of there. A few blocks later, the salesman asks Diego to wait. From there, he sees him enter a parking lot with the box, talks to a man for a couple of minutes, then calls him with his eyes. Diego follows him to a small room. The seller puts the box on the ground and, looking at the beggar, says, "Here you can settle for a while the dogs growl." Diego can contain his happiness, and with tears leaving a mark on his cheeks, he thanks him and settles down. The place where it is a parking lot that is open all day and all night. The room where Diego was used for the work, but it was going to be demolished because they had built another better and more comfortable room. so they delayed the construction by the homeless. The neighbors found out what Diego was doing and decided to bring him shelter and food for him and the dogs. Diego continues to walk the streets with his torn shoes and sometimes sits at his workplace to shake his hair. One day, it was raining a lot, so the beggar went to his shelter to meet his slightly larger dogs. On the way, he heard a cry among some garbage bags. He looked out, and there was a very small puppy shivering with cold. He couldn't leave it there, so he took it away. This situation was repeated several times. Diego already has 7 dogs. Fortunately, the neighbors support him with food and shelter. The parking attendant became fond of the animals, and they help him to take care of, barking when hearing strange sounds. One of the neighbors decides to take a couple of dog houses, since he realizes that the animals no longer fit in that small room with the beggar. The dogs are growing up, and they like to run around the parking lot. One day, a man got out of a car, and he saw all those dogs playing happily. But he saw one that was limping. Diego fed them. The man approached him, saw the situation, and told him that he is a veterinarian, and that he had to check that little dog that seemed sick. Over time, he cured him and took care of the health of the other dogs. Nobody knows from where, but Diego was taking more and more abandoned dogs along with the others. Fewer and fewer cars fit in the parking lot, and among all the neighbors and the support of some companies, they decided to end the parking lot to improve the infrastructure, and so it became a shelter for dogs, where the director is the founder, Diego.